Yeah, bridging the gap. Nyomi Banks, the goddess. Tune in. Hey yo, Black, where we at? Elements. Got a problem? What's the issue? Ask Nyomi for advice, she will bless you. Is it sex, love, or relationships? If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with hashtags for every day of the week. Hashtag.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and Sexy is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Nyomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy is Cosmetics. Use the code AskNyomi for a 10% discount. Working on, I don't know if y'all can hear me, but we are working on the audio right now. If y'all, let me see if I can do it like this. Can y'all hear me? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Can y'all hear me now? Let me know. Can y'all hear me now? Can I get some hands up? Can I get some claps? Can I get all of that? Yes. All right. Again, this is your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and welcome back to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. And again, this is where we're talking about love, sex, relationship differences, cultural differences, and so much more, while teaching the world about love, sex language, and attitude, and spiritual uplifting. And as I said before, which y'all couldn't hear me, we were talking about, today's topic is about forgiveness. We got a lot of questions around forgiveness. So really it's really to try to get the art of forgiveness. How can we ourselves be able to forgive and also ask forgiveness from others? Mm-hmm. And true forgiveness is what I mean by that, and be genuine in that. All right, so let me tell you how this topic came up for me. A few days ago, through prayer and meditation, I had gotten a message, and I had sent it over to a family member and a loved one. And through me going back and forth and talking to them, I felt within their conversation that they were very angry. And that even though they had said that they forgive that person, that was not what was happening. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? And they were still building, so much anger and animosity. Right. You know what I mean? So much anger and animosity. And when I asked that person, so I thought you forgave them. And they said, yes, we did. I did forgive them. I just didn't forget. And I was like, forgive. Those are two different words. You understand what I'm saying? And I know, because I have struggled with that forgiveness and forget. I have struggled with that. And still to this day, with certain people, I struggle with that. You know what I mean? I struggle with that. And so when I was talking to Dog Pound Mike earlier this week, and I said, I think this would be our topic for this week. Talking about forgiveness, because I know myself, as I just said, there's things that I learned as I'm getting older, that some things need to be let go or release, especially when dealing with someone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
So many times we feel, and I say this to my aunt, I say this to everybody. Many times we look for ourselves and others on how we would treat others. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So how we would treat others, and we feel because we treat people a certain way that they are supposed to treat us the way that we treat them.
Right.
Which is how my mother taught me. My mother said, you treat people the way you want to be treated. But unfortunately, that is not the case. You understand what I'm saying? That is not the case. So at times when people do things to us, or we do something to another person, the only thing that we can control is us at that moment. Mm-hmm. Either we take an acknowledgement, accountability for what we have done to that person, and not gaslight them in any way, and be sincere in our apology, or not forgive that person because you might not see it sincere, or sincere in that manner.
Right.
You agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Okay. So I know I had posted this question up earlier today, and Miss Charmaine, hey baby, Miss Charmaine actually sent me this little passage, and I remember hearing a bit of that from and I want to make sure I say her name right, Ayana Vanzette. Remember, with Fix Your Life with her, and I remember her saying at one of the time that she kept telling them not to say I'm sorry, but apologize and say what you wouldn't do, or what I wouldn't do, or I hope that you release me from that, or I release you from that. But then in that passage that Charmaine sent me, it was more with that. It was saying about replacing the word forgiveness with release. Mm-hmm, okay. And in that process for that is when you release that word forgive, you're releasing that person from your life. That's what I got out of that. You're releasing that person from your life, and you're kind of thinking about yourself in that manner. You understand what I'm saying? And so when I kept reading the passage a little bit more, I said, well, it can come from some people. I mean, it can. So let me say, because I'm going over my work, that can be for certain situations.
Right.
Especially when you in a relationship, or you among family members, or you among friends, or something like that is very toxic. You understand what I'm saying? And that other person cannot take accountability for what they have done wrong. Mm-hmm. Or they feel what they have done wrong should not have any, punishment for, or anything like that. So in that case, that I totally agree with, Charmaine. I agree with that, because you don't want to keep going around in this circle and constantly have this this toxic thing in your life. So that means even that apology that they make, it doesn't come genuine. You understand understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do.
And then you have another. So let's go to this one. It's another one. And I'll be trying not to put no family members or nobody like this on Front Street, but I won't say no names or nothing like that. But I do have a few family members of mine that have years ago went through some things. It's sort of whatever. The problem is that they don't understand the hurt that they have done to others. You understand what I'm saying? So even though they have grown and they have changed, that person who they did harm to is not willing to forgive. So this is how this came about. Because something had happened to a family member of mine years ago, and they were hurt. And even though they forgave, that they said from their mouth, and they're around this person, that they forgave that person, in their actions, they haven't. Do you understand what I'm saying? Yeah. But even with the person that has done that person wrong, feel like I'm doing too much, and they still haven't forgave me. I'm tired of this. And it's like, wait, hold on. You can you really give somebody a limit on when they're able to forgive? And that was the question that I posed to Dog Pound Mike earlier this week. Is there really a time limit on when a person is supposed to forgive you?
Right. I don't think so. I don't think it's a time limit for when someone's supposed to forgive you, because like you said earlier, is both people went through a situation. So you got the person who did it and the person it was done to. They both need their time, but especially the person who it was done to, they need their time to get over whatever the situation was. And that goes back to the forgive and forget thing, because they are two different words. Forget, I forgot my keys.
Right.
I forgot this, but forgive. That's something that's inside you that you do have to release.
Right.
But in that situation, it's according to how much hurt that person have for them to forgive you. And because a lot of people say, especially in relationships, people that did things and say, I forgive you, but I'm never going to forget it.
Right.
So if you don't ever forget, do you ever forgive?
I mean, that's a great statement. And why I say, because I don't forget shit. I don't forget nothing. But I do forgive. You understand what I'm saying? Because I've learned that I don't know where a person was at that point in time. You understand? And that's what I came to learn about myself now, is that I have to truly look at the person like, damn, like, what was their life like then when they did that?
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? And then I have to look at them from growth. But it took me so many years to get to this point.
Okay.
You understand what I'm saying? It took me so many years to get to this point that it was like, oh, okay. Okay, I'm cool with that. I understand. I understand, why. But then also is that I understand sometimes people are not at the same point in the same space that I am.
Right.
So sometimes they can't take accountability for their actions or what they done. I'm not giving nobody an excuse. I'm just being real and honest. Sometimes people, their pride will screw up everything, even though they know they wrong. They hate to be wrong in front of somebody. They hate to be wrong about stuff that they know that ain't right. You understand what I'm saying? But they will go down in the dirt with that. Mm-hmm. And then they will say, well, that's me. That's what I do. And it's like, no, that's not what we do. Because once I tell you what you have done wrong to me, I don't expect you to do it again.
Right.
And then I don't expect you to do that to someone else. You understand what I'm saying?
Learning from your mistakes.
Learn from your mistakes. And mistakes, and sometimes people don't.
Right.
Sometimes people don't.
Most of the time people don't.
No, they don't. No, they don't. I mean, we could keep going all of that, because I had like a whole bunch, and I do. I've written it down, because I wasn't going to do no research, because I was going to come strictly from the heart with it. We, raw, authentic with it. But there was some things, because I did want to make sure that once this show was over with, that we were able to take something away from everybody that's listening live here, and also that will be listening on the streaming later, that they're able to take something from this conversation, right, as well as be able to comment later on, what their feelings is, or if it's something that, we could have possibly, missed in this.
Right.
Missed in this. So I see you folding your hand over there, Mike. Mike, what's going on?
Oh, no. I totally agree with you. I mean, the thing is about, forgiving, and it comes down to forgiving and forgetting the situation. So the thing, most people can never forget a situation, mm-hmm, especially with something that, life-changing, or, you have relationships, you have family members get into it, and they always going to be your family, and you always going to think about that. So you really got to reach deep down to forgive. Mm-hmm. You really do. And sometimes in that situation, forgetting may be a part of that forgiveness. Mm-hmm. If you can forget it and see the change, and you're still there, especially with family, y'all still going to be together, y'all still going to be family, do you want that person in your space anymore, or things like, mm-hmm, that. So it is a big challenge to forget.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's
So-
it's not a I'm sorry to cut you off, but it's something that's not gonna happen instantly.
Oh, no, right.
Like it really takes shit. It's a journey.
It's a journey.
It's a journey to get there. There are so many steps and so many things that you go through. Remember when we talked about grieving before?
Right.
Like it's different. It's different steps for forgiveness because sometimes it might take forever in a day.
Yeah, but then you got to look at that point is, and that's where everybody got to work on themselves. You looking at that point of holding that on, and then you hear what everybody says at the funeral. Damn, I should have forgave them. Oh, we didn't have enough time.
Did you say the funeral?
At the funeral, right?
At the funeral, okay.
Yes,
At the funeral.
that's because you always look back and say, damn, I should have done that. Oh, it wasn't that serious. Ooh, we should spend more time together. But in some situations, it's too late. You know? It's too late.
Is it too late?
Now it's too late. You take, like you said before, some people take it to their grave.
Some people take it to their grave. They do. They take it to the grave. But then you got a lot of people that are like very petty.
That's the biggest thing.
That's the biggest. That's the biggest thing. You know, when we say we forgive and we don't forget, and you say you just have to forget. Is that a true statement that we forget?
And then that's even not a true statement because just because you'll never say nothing about it, the situation may not never come up again. But 99% of the time, if it was something done, really, that person would never forget.
No, never forget.
Never forget.
You know, for me, and I'm just gonna be very honest. For me, even with the forgetfulness, because I forgive, but I'm gonna remember. Mm-hmm. And what I mean is, when I remember, I'm gonna remember how you moving. I'm gonna remember your actions of what you saying. You understand what I'm saying? So that tell me, okay. So it's like when you've done something to me, I'm like this. You understand what I'm saying? Oh, we still here, but I'm like this. You know what I mean? So in that process, I forgive you because I don't know where you was at that point in time, but I will never forget. Mm-hmm. I will never forget who you showed me who you were at that moment or who you can possibly be. Y'all understand what I mean in that aspect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying in that aspect? So it's hard to different, even though I said it's a different thing, but then it does get hard when people still show you those signs of things, because we know people ain't perfect.
Right.
No one's perfect, but when you don't forget, because we don't, ain't nobody forget nothing.
No, ain't nobody forget nothing that's...
No, ain't nobody forget nothing. I'm telling you, folks that got Alzheimer's and going through this, that's one thing they gonna remember when somebody hurt them.
Right, yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. So in that process, so it's like, now, how do we get through that forgetfulness to where it could become a truly forgiveness moment?
I understand that. But
because we got to get through the forget. We ain't gonna forget.
Oh, yes.
We got to work through the forgetness. I guess forgetfulness.
Yes, you got to work through that. You know, but then that goes back to the question of where is, I mean, people went to jail for things, mm-hmm. come back out. Oh, we forgive them back into back into society, but he's always going to be judged, and everybody always going to be judged on what they did before. No matter how many times or how many years them transpired of that action never happened, but as soon as an inkling come back of that.
Oh yeah, that's like a ring-a-ding-ding. That's like that ring-a-ding-ding that I needed in the beginning.
Yes. So in a sense, if there's never no forgetfulness, there probably ain't never no forgiveness. Is forgiveness that politically correct term?
You say it's that politically correct term?
Yeah, baby. I love you. I forgive you. I'm watching that bitch like a hawk. Because I ain't gonna forget that. You know?
I'm a little silent right now because that got a little deep. But I mean, yeah. I mean, I see the comments is going off. The comments is going off. Let's touch in on the comments real fast before we
Let's start right here with Jeffrey.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Jeffrey. Hey, baby. So Jeffrey says, sometimes when I say something that may be offensive to that person, after a few hours later, I have to apologize to that person and ask for forgiveness. Yes, that's true. That's especially, well, at least you acknowledge that you have done something or said something offensive or wrong to that person. Right. You know what I'm saying? So at least you know. So it seems to be coming from a sincere place. And, to be very honest, most of the time people know when stuff is sincere from people.
Exactly.
You understand? Yes, really, most of the time, and I'm going to be honest, most of the time, you do know when things come in sincere from a person, rather than somebody just BSing you and just saying something just so they don't want to get in an argument or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? All right, go to the next comment.
Yep.
All right, Miss Yoshi said, let's be real. The word forget really translates to see your actions. And I need to be cautious about your intentions due to your actions. Exactly. You are so correct.
Yeah.
Like we said before, when I say I forget, that let me know who you were. Who you are at that moment of time. So that like I said, that puts that alarm up and like, okay, now I got to watch you.
Yeah, but going back to the title of the show, is there a time limit? So I got to watch you for 6 months, a year, or you been watched till you hit that dirt. But it's all according to the situation, though.
It is.
I hear you.
It is. Okay, give me another one. Give me another comment.
Our boy Spider Moves.
All right, Spider Moves. Hey, baby. All right, so if it's a minor thing, it can be forgiven and forgotten. But if it's serious, it might be forgivable to the extent, but it can't really be forgotten. A new dynamic to the relationship. You totally right.
That's totally true statement.
That's a true statement. And thank you for that, because when I posed the social connection questions today, with the answers, they were not all, well, most of them were not yes or no answers. They all came with, different, depends on what it is, and how, what's the, severity of what had happened. Right. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people automatically assumed that we were talking about a relationship between a man and a woman, but I'm talking about just in general, because you do have where there has been families that have broken up, because of someone that's done someone wrong, and a lot of the times it's because of miscommunication, a misunderstanding of each other, and not even knowing your damn self who you are. So then you tend to kind of do things your way. You understand what I'm saying? And kind of lash out to other people. So that's why now when I'm forgiving someone, I think about what have they been through. You understand what I'm saying? And I know y'all like, Nyomi, that's a whole lot of work. I know. But it's a whole lot of work that I worked on myself. You understand what I'm saying? Because I realized there's people, they're not perfect, and neither am I. But also, I know the difference between now is, I ain't effing with you no more. You understand what I'm saying? Like I'm like this with a lot of people now. So I know the difference, and then I can forgive a person from afar. You understand what I'm saying? And that's one thing that I tell a lot of people that I counsel is that sometimes you don't need to be in the same space or place as a family member.
Exactly.
You can still love them from afar. You don't have to be in, especially if that relationship is so toxic and that person has not taken accountability for their actions. Then, like Charmaine said, it's time to release and not forget. But you can still release in love. You still can release in love. I just choose not to be around this or that anymore, because guess what? I need to heal. I don't need that on top of me. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, I do. But
okay, what you got to say?
Because releasing love, I understand that. But
I said release in love.
Release in love?
In love. Like coming from a
loving place.
A loving place, yes. Okay. Yes. So what you thought I was saying?
I thought you were saying you can release everything, but then we can still love them from afar.
That too.
To my thing, that's out of sight, out of mind. yeah, you still my cousin. I love you, but I ain't fucking with you no more.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what it comes down to. And the thing is, in that way, that is a release, because in a sense, you just the space that's in your head, they gone. So I can use that room for something else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I feel you on that.
Exactly.
I feel you on that.
But you know what? Let me be honest. So let me tell you what a issue with me when it comes for forgiveness. Okay, so when you have friends or family members or whoever that is in your circle, and someone within that circle or whatever, they've done something to you.
Right.
Okay, something to you, but they haven't done it to the other people, right? And I'm guilty of it. I'm guilty of it too. But they would tell you when it's time for you to forgive a person. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you know how they are. So just forgive them and just go on with your life. You know what I mean? In that process. And that person on that opposite end, that opposite side feels like, well, damn, well, my feelings doesn't matter, or what they did to me does not matter.
Right.
And coming from me now, it's not that your feelings do not matter. My thing is that we cannot continue for you to keep holding on to this, and it's stopping your growth.
Right.
That's my thing. When it starts to stop your growth, when you allow another individual that you have not spoken to for years, and that's the conversation that you continue to have about that person.
Right.
Who is it on now? Can help me out if I'm wrong. Who is it on now?
It's on you. It's on the person that is continuing not to get growth because they're thinking about that situation.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
It's on the person who cannot grow, because you shouldn't let a person or a situation stop you from growing. Mm-hmm. Now, I'm sending this comment over here to you.
All right, Mr. Radical Brian. Hey, baby, Mike, there is no time limit for forgiveness for me. Forgiveness should be every time you know you did something wrong to that person. Okay. And I'm going, ooh. Okay, so I can see a little bit what you mean by that. I can. But then it's like, why would you continue to keep doing something wrong to that person when you understand what I'm saying? So I guess we have to go. I guess I got to understand the context of this. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? Because in every relationship, you have to have communication. And you have to have true communication. That means I don't care if it's at your lover, your man, your woman, your wife, your mother, your sister, your brother, your cousin, your auntie, your friend. If you have communication with them and I'm so serious, you let them know what it is that you require for them to be in your life, as well as you want to know what it requires to be in their life, then I don't think that it has to be a continuous forgiveness. I think once somebody does something wrong to you, you know what I'm saying? Then, okay, I know not to do that again.
Right.
Because if you know better, you would do better.
Exactly.
Now, if you continue to keep doing the same thing, okay, now I'm going to look at you a little differently. I'm going to look at you real sad-eyed, cockeyed, all kinds of like, what's going on around you? Then I'm going to look and see what kind of spirits are around you. Are you a dark? What are you? Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And I ask you, what is your reasoning for your actions or what you do? You know what I mean?
So you going deep to find out what's going on in that situation, so forgiveness can come without a time limit.
Right.
But basically, them will be for people you truly care about.
That's true.
Because
that's true.
Sometimes if you don't care about the person, hey, they did that, I forgive you. But sometimes that's just like saying I forget you too.
That's true. That's true. Okay, so let me ask you that. Let me ask you guys this out there. All right, so was someone doing something wrong to a person? And I think I spoke a little bit on this just a few minutes ago, probably good 10, 15 minutes ago. But that person that's already apologized several different times have changed. What are your thoughts on that? And that now that other person, and I think we talked about it, but I don't think we really got into it. Is it time for them to forgive? Because you got some people that are very stubborn and will just hold it.
Hold it. They got it in their pocket.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, and the thing is, but it's still according to the person who has to do the forgiving on, like you said when we started, on what that hurt or what that situation was to them.
Right.
And what it was to them. But, as you said also is, don't let that stunt your growth, not only from that person who hurt you, but it can hurt you from a lot more people. Because now you be looking at, well, that person did that. So
that person could do that
to another person, and it sounds the same way, so they the same way, you know. So that's where it stops your growth at, as you were speaking.
Yeah. All right, y'all. So guess what? I'm getting a little hot. I'm getting a little hot. We're going to take a quick break and we're going to come back and we're going to talk some more about this. I found some good tips that hopefully that it'll help all of us with this forgiveness thing. And we're going to go to social connection and a little bit more stuff. All right, this is your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, here on Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap with Dog Pound Mike.
Yep.
We're going to take a break and then we're going to come right back.
Flex up. Flex up. I want to play for so long. I need to tell you. Unless you talking numbers, we ain't speaking about the right things. Switch up on my nigga for a figure, that's not like me. Baddie with a body in the lobby, she like nice things. She used to know me then, she like me now, that's funny timing. Eyes been on that prize, I cop that cribbo for that timepiece. I'm trying to see the globe and still out.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks. And Sexy Is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Nyomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy Is Cosmetics. Use the code AskNyomi for a 10% discount. Hey, welcome back. It's your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks, and welcome back to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap podcast. I'm here with my boy, Dog Pound Mike. Mike, what's going on, baby?
It's all good. It's all good.
You good?
I'm all good.
You good? You how you like this topic? You like this topic?
You know, yeah, I like this topic because, you know, so there's probably a whole lot of people out there I need to forgive my ass. You know, I'm had to go back 20, 30 years.
Right. Oh, that's a long time. Mm-hmm. But if you just tuning in, we are talking about forgiveness. And we truly are. We're talking about what's the art of forgiveness. You know, it's a whole bunch of questions that comes around with that word forgiveness in comparison to certain things, or is it forget? A whole lot of things, and I love how the comments are coming here. I see all of y'all, and I'm loving every bit of y'all conversation, and we will truly try to hit most of y'all, if not all, most of y'all, if not all, because I'm loving how y'all going through with this topic right here.
Yep.
Last week we had such a good time with our topic. Last week we definitely just went straight from the dome with it. Mm-hmm. We can't take. What we talk here is real, really true, real, and authentic. Mm-hmm. You know, this is the only place and only that I can do this at. And I mean this only place, but that's the only way that I can do it. You understand what I'm saying? Even though I've been through, you know, classes and courses and things of that sort, but still, honestly, a book cannot compare to experiences.
So keeping it real, yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? It can't. And so in this is like, yes, I have some knowledge on forgiveness. And some folks I have forgive, and some folks I just won't ever forgive. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But as Charmaine said, I released them out of my mind. But just to be honest with y'all, you know, there is, you know, it's hard to do that. You know, when people want, well, I told you yesterday that I was sorry. That was yesterday. So how long have you been, you know, what hurt did that you did? What was the damage of that hurt?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I do.
All right, so let's go back to the comments, and then we're gonna go to the tops because I'm gonna need to read this to y'all, mm-hmm. and then y'all gonna tell me some more what y'all want to say. Okay, all right. So we got Deborah Booker. Some people don't know how to forgive and move on, which is true. which is very, very true. And that's something that we spoke about early on in the conversation, because you do have some people that they become, and I don't want to say petty, but they do. They become petty, and some of them become very emotional. And I think I just seen you say again, some like to hold on to it to just play victim.
Mm-hmm. There it is. There it is.
Yeah, you know, that is such a loaded, that is so loaded. And I promise you right now, y'all, I am not being biased in any kind of way. I'm just saying that because I want to make sure that people understand that you do have people that play victims. You do very well have that. But then you do have people that do not take accountability for the shit that they do. You understand what I'm saying? Both ways. So we have to figure out how is that person, what's going on with you that you always have to be a victim. You understand what I'm saying?
True.
So really it's like what stages that you have to go through to work on you inside to where it's not everybody against you. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because when a person starts to play a victim, when they start to play a victim, then that's something that's happening with them. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
Do you agree with that?
I agree with that. It's because when you say victim, yes, there is something inside them they have to work on. But let's take that word victim out. And some people like to hold that as a
weapon.
Yes. You know, they ain't the victim. Shit, they like, oh, okay, I got this. So now you're gonna have to do this to get this forgiveness. You know, to get me to forget. You know, and some people use it like that for their advantage. You know? So all this is about the people in the situation.
So let me say this. Remember what I was talking about? Forget, and it's hard to forget. Mm-hmm. It's hard to forget. So when certain things come up, I will bring a situation up just to remind that person, oh, you fucked up. You understand what I'm saying? Y'all understand what I'm saying? So it don't be to, what you say?
I don't know.
There be a weapon with it. Right. I'm not in with a whipping, just whipping a person with it. So it's just to let you know, I see you, boo. I see you. So that BS that you just said before, though, that's that. Y'all understand what I'm saying?
That shit like playing spades and having both jokers. And be like, yeah, I'm gonna lay both these jokers down on your ass.
All right, well, I got some tops for y'all. I told you I did a little research because I wanted to make sure that, that when we end this show, that at least we got a little something from this that can help us all to heal with this forgiveness. Mm-hmm. Because it's not only forgiving somebody else for them, but it's really basically forgiving for yourself. Mm-hmm. It really is, because one thing is that I learned is that we cannot control another person's action.
And that's the biggest thing.
The only thing is we can control our reaction. Mm-hmm. A lot of times I tell people, sometimes you might need a breakaway from family members, friends, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes you've been in this bubble for so long. And when they start to see people start to grow, that starts to make other people feel uncomfortable. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. For that, things start to happen in certain things. Y'all know what I mean. All right, so let's get to Nyomi's tops. All right, so here we go. So it said one. So remember I was saying that it's stages to this. It's just like, when you're grieving, so you won't forgive automatically. And really it's dependent on the severity of the situation. Because you have, like, some people can say to me, do something and be like, oh, I'm sorry, I apologize. And I'll be like, okay, usually most of the time it's like this and it's gone. Seriously, like this and it's gone. But then sometimes, you kind of hold on to stuff, I was mad at one of my cousins for 3 years. 3 years. I hadn't spoke to him in 3 years. One of my favorites. Like my brother, he did something, and I didn't speak to him for 3 years. Actually, it took a death in the family for me to speak to him again. But then when we spoke again, he knew the severity of what he did. Because he used to do some shit to everybody else, and they was like, they was through. And I was the only one rolling and riding with him. But then when it happened to me, I said, okay. So I'm going to tell you how foolish I was with thinking that, oh, no, we good. Because I understand them. It ain't going to ever happen to me. Girl, I learned then is that you are not the exception to the rule.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying? You are not the exception to the rule. I don't care how fine you think you are, how bomb you think you are. You are not the exception to the rule. And I learned that. But then I had to remove myself from that to get myself together. You know why? To get myself together? Guess what? Because for years, I played along in that bull crap of, y'all just got to forgive them. You understand what I'm saying? And it was like, no, go heal first and then come back.
Right.
So I guess that's my thing with that is healing. Heal, acknowledge. Okay, so here we go. It's acknowledge. So number one is, the first step is to acknowledge the hurt. And what I mean with acknowledging the hurt, acknowledge on what and why it hurt you so. And also acknowledge the person who has hurt you. Meaning that, where are they at in that space or in that place of time? You know what I'm saying? Are they, and I'm not giving any excuses, but I'm telling you, people would treat you the way that they are feeling. Am I right? So if they see that you are doing better than them, excuse me, and most of the time it ain't even about you. It's some that they got on their own. Then from there, just acknowledge that. That's number one. Yeah, did y'all get that?
Mm-hmm. They say they got it.
Did y'all get that? All right. Number two is consider all aspects of, meaning, if you was to forgive, why would you forgive? You understand what I'm saying? Why would you forgive? Is it because a family member? Is it because you really miss and you love this person? Is it become, whatever?
Wow, yeah. I mean, because like some people you will forgive, some people just cut off.
Some people you just cut off.
Yeah.
Some people you just cut off. All right, number three, accept that you cannot change the past.
Can't do that.
And you cannot change the person. You can't.
Nope.
And so many times you want the past to change. You do. And when I'm just reading this right now, I had to read this a few times in my head. And I thought about it. That is so right. So even in the process of forgetting, it's like, but it already happened. I understand you on high alert, but girlfriend, it already happened. So so let that go. You understand what I'm saying? All right, so now that you're here and you already forgiving them, you already forgave them. So what's your conversation now? You understand what I'm saying? And that's what we got to learn is we have to have another conversation, what goes into number 4, to make that decision if you're going to forgive them really or not. Because if you can't truly forget and you constantly keep bringing it up, then you got to check yourself. So guess what? I'm checking myself right now. Like I said, I had to reread number 3 all over again. You understand what I'm saying? Because that was the past. So where in that I've already forgave that person. So how can I continue to keep going with it? Especially if I see this person, if I talk with this person, if I hang with this person. What am I looking like? You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
I just had to check myself on that one. Really. Because then you have to see it's like, damn, where was that person at in that moment of time? You know, so for you, if you have forgave them and move on, then yeah. But if you haven't, then that's a whole nother story.
Right.
That's a whole nother story. So yeah, I just checked myself. But I'm still keeping from arm's length. But I just checked myself on that one. All right, we at number 5, right?
Yep.
Rebuild connections. All right, so when I initially read this, I was like, rebuild the connection. We ain't even forgave yet. We haven't even said we forgive yet. But the thing is that you have to make sure that that relationship is worth forgiving.
Worth the connection.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to come to a common ground or even ground to even have that conversation, to even see if that person is even genuine enough to sit down and talk about not just I'm sorry, but it's okay with sitting down about what transpired in that and don't have any excuses. Mm-hmm. You understand what I'm saying? If they can acknowledge, okay, yeah. And if they do need help, that they seek help. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, we be getting deep up in here, don't we?
That's what they saying. We got these comments going up. They saying, Charmaine, this is good right here.
Mm-hmm. Number 6. What are we forgiving? What does forgiveness look to you? Do you really know what the meaning of forgiveness is?
That's the deep one there. Do you know what forgiveness is?
Do y'all know what forgiveness is?
Is it forgiving or is it forgetting?
And we can't say that because it ain't never forgetting. It ain't never, because that will be stitching in your mind. But it's how you get through that forgetfulness. You know what I'm saying? How you use that in your life. Right. You know, furthermore in your life. All right, and number 7, it's just merely you at the forgiving point. So when you able to get through all 6 of these, and then you able to forgive at number 7.
Mm-hmm. There you go.
You able to forgive at number 7. So even between those 7, I was able to check myself a few times on that. I hope that y'all was able to check yourselves a few times on that, because I see these comments going. I see Miss Deborah. I see Miss Deborah up in here. I see you, baby.
Up in here.
Yeah, up in here. All right, so we're going to go to comments real fast. All right, let's go to Deborah. All right, she says, so if you first forgive and you are in the same space, ask, is you okay? Which opened the line for a conversation. Okay, let me read that again. Okay, so if you forgive first, but you are in the same space,
and saying if you okay,
and you said if you okay, asking if the person is okay, or if that other person who you asked for forgiveness for is okay.
Right?
Is that what it's saying?
I believe so. Yeah.
So which will open the line for communication?
Right.
All right. So, and I'm gonna be honest. Many times pride will stop us from anything. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So if you feel that this relationship to you is worth having and it's not toxic, or not that you can see it growing and helping you grow, then you go to that person and you be real and honest and you talk to them. But you know at that time in that conversation if that conversation is real or not. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like times you got to say, it's okay, stop with all the bullshit. For real. Stop. We about to keep it real right here. We about to be real raw, butt naked, ugly right up in here. And we gonna talk. And that's how it has to be. Feelings will get hurt. And why feelings will be hurt? Because people do have pride. People don't want to be wrong. And honestly, it's not even a right or wrong thing. It's about how you treat somebody. And you can't say, if I tell you that I received it this way, and you either tell me, well, you know what, baby, I didn't mean for you to feel that way, and I truly apologize. But then not only with the words, you have to show in your actions. Right. So if your actions still saying the same BS that you said, then that apology doesn't mean anything. You understand? I don't know if that answers your question, but
Check out Ruben X right here.
All right, Ruben X. As imperfect people we can forgive and we won't forget. But in times it get easier with that person in time. Yeah, it does. It really does, an opinion on a person and as you see them grow. Because we have to realize in our life we steady growing. And as much as we start to learn to self-love about ourselves, then we realize some of the things that we've done harm to ourselves as well as others. You understand what I'm saying? So in that growth process, that will help us learn how to forgive too, as well as forgiving yourself. There was a question that was posed to me. It's like, what's the hardest to do? Forgive others or forgive yourself? What's the hardest?
Probably forgive yourself, because with forgiving yourself, it comes pride, it comes anger, it comes doubt of self. It's so many things that can come. It comes pride. There's so many things that can come with that as far as forgiving yourself. But most situations, if you can't forgive yourself, then it's very hard to forgive others, because that's when you get into a situation like, I forgive you, but what you're really doing is cutting them off. You say, I forgive you, but of course I can forgive you if I'll never say nothing else to you. And is that true forgiveness?
Yeah, you went somewhere deep, but I lost you. Well, you went somewhere with that, and you lost because I thought we were talking about forgiving yourself versus forgiving others. Which one is harder? So you say it's harder to forgive yourself than it is to forgive somebody else.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And what I said, it's hard to forgive you. If you can't forgive yourself, then it's almost impossible to forgive somebody else.
Yeah. Yeah. And I guess this goes back to was our very first live show, self-love. For real, when we talk about it, all comes back around to self-love. It really, because we got to understand that we are not perfect human beings and that we will make some mistakes. We are growing. We are growing. I don't care how old you are. You are steady growing and you are steady learning new things about other people, about yourself, about how to move around people. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I do.
I'm loving these comments up in here, though. I'm loving all of these comments. All right, let's go back to the comments.
There we go.
All right, Radical Brian. All right, forgiving yourself is more important than anything else, and that is hard. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Can we get some more?
We sure can.
Ruben X. All right, that's truth. Pride is a killer of mankind. Men and women need to learn to put it aside. You know what? That is one of the truest statements ever. You know what? Because pride
kills.
Pride can kill you. It's a dream killer. It can kill your dreams, your admiration, all of those things. It truly can. All right. You got another one? All right, Miss Deborah. It says, yes, you have to forgive yourself first, especially when you know you have done wrong. You sometimes are embarrassed for your actions. It's true. And and a lot of times when you are embarrassed for the things that you have done, and I'm not speaking for myself, I'm speaking that what I see from others, it does. It does take them a lot to swallow. That's a hard ass swallow. You know what I'm saying? But then they have to realize that you're human. You're human, baby. You're human. But if it didn't come from a malicious, you understand what I'm saying?
Right.
Because you know the difference between a malicious act. You know the difference. You know the difference from a malicious act, whether somebody's just doing it just because they feel, you know what I mean?
Right.
Because they feel in some shitty ass way, so they want somebody else. And I guess people that's them and their own shit over there.
Right.
Yeah, that ain't, nothing to do with me. All right, can we get some more? All right, Yoshi. Vulnerability in trauma, in truth, can be uncomfortable but healing at the same time. Yes, it is, baby. Yes, it is. Wait, I want to read that again. Vulnerability in trauma and truth can be uncomfortable, but healing at the same time. Yes, it can. Thank you. Thank you. I'm not cutting it off right now, but because I want him to scroll up and get me some more comments here. But I want to just thank everybody that come in here every week and come chill with us and have a good time and just talking with us. I see Charmaine, baby. I see Miss Deborah. I see T Brown, baby. Hey, I see Radical Brian. I see Joseph. Hey, Joseph. Joseph was here a long time ago, my Florida baby. I see Ruben X. I see my big bro in there. Spider Moose, what's going on, baby? Who else? Super Lover. Hey, James, I see you, baby. So I see all of y'all in there, and I thank y'all so much for continues to support us. Yoshi, baby, I see you. And just having the input, because this is what Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap was for. It's so we can bridge the gap with culture different. We all, even though we all have some things that are like, but we still was raised in different kind of ways in different cultures on different parts of the world, on the United States and things of that sort. So sometimes our upbringing is not of the same of everybody else.
Exactly.
And sometimes our upbringing is sometimes damn it wrong because they didn't understand themselves. You understand what I'm saying? So this platform is truly for us to kind of learn and kind of help each other to get through this thing called life. Well, we ain't trying to kill ourselves. Well, if we depressed, that we able to talk to somebody. You know what I'm saying? That we ain't throwing our shit on somebody else and to just leave it there and moving on.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah. We got some more comments? No?
I got comments. There we go.
Super Lover said, you can forgive and you can forget, but you are now in a space questionable trust. We will be cool, but not like before. Exactly. Exactly. All right, so we do not have an Ask Naomi letter today because I just didn't go get it today. I just didn't go check it. I'm sorry. But listen, if you guys have any love, sex, or relationship advice, or even any spiritual uplifting, you guys can always email me at info@asknaomi.com.
There we go.
You guys can always email me. And like I said before, like I said last week, I love that you guys are on here live with me here on. But these numbers, they count, but they really don't count. I do this because I like to be interactive with my fans. Like I like to see, I like to get to know. I like to be able to communicate in this aspect. But what my big numbers come from, and I want them to come from, is from my streaming. So I stream this on every Friday night. It's streamed on iHeartRadio, Spotify, iTunes, Apple Podcasts, Google. So I'm all streaming with. So if you get a chance, go buy one of those and leave a comment. Leave ratings for us so we can get up there and we can get in the top. Because we talk about more than just sex and relationship. We talk about life. And if you guys missed my my Saturday session, it was about living and enjoying life. It really is. It's like we can't control what happened with yesterday because yesterday already happened, but we can control what we do today.
There we go.
So choose to live, choose to enjoy. All right, my sexy people. Well, remember to like, subscribe, share, comment. Go to all of those streaming networks, all of those things right there. You want to say something?
Yeah, because somebody earlier put in a comment, and I let's give prayers and thoughts to all these crazy stuff been happening out here.
Oh,
with, with these kids in Texas and in Buffalo. Everybody, it's about life, and it's just giving them a moment of our.
Yes,
prayers.
it is. Yes, it is. And yesterday, well, for the past few days, I have been fasting, meditating, and praying. And what I saw yesterday on TV, because I guess it happened day before. Did it happen yesterday or day before yesterday?
Day before yesterday.
It happened day before yesterday. So I rarely try to watch the news, but I hadn't been on social media since I think Sunday. So either Sunday or Saturday. I hadn't been on social media, so I hadn't seen it. But yesterday I was dropping my little one off for her last day of school right before, and I was watching this. And what hit me hard is because they were third graders.
Yes.
It was third and fourth graders, and my baby is a third grader. And I just was like, wow, I can't believe this has happened yet again. to innocent children that have nothing to do with anything. They go to school to learn. You know what I'm saying? This is where parents, especially single parents, they feel that their kids are at their safest place. They're at school with their teachers and their classmates. But someone to come in and shoot it up, what is wrong with this world?
Crazy. That was hurtful. That's crazy. Like you say, innocent kids at school, they don't vote. They ain't political. They don't know none of this stuff.
No.
And it's crazy.
And then who did it? He was only 18 years old. Like, what gave you the right to think you're able to go in and take someone's life? You understand what I'm saying? And it's like, I pray for everybody. Family, friend, fan, or foe. Did you hear what I said? Family, friend, fan, or foe. And I always pray for healing, tolerance, understanding. You have to do that. Love. This world needs to heal. It truly do. It needs to heal. All right, y'all. This is your girl, the goddess, Nyomi Banks here. I'm here with Dog Pound Mike. This is Ask Nyomi Bridget Gap. Make sure you tune in next Thursday for the live show. And if you missed it, you can always replay it on Friday through Spotify, iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts. You know what it is. All right, as I always say, be good to one another and yourselves. And always keep it sexy. Hey, it's the goddess, Nyomi Banks. And I hope you enjoyed that last episode of Ask Nyomi Bridget the Gap. And if you did, please like, subscribe, press that notification button, as well as comment. I'll see you next week. Keep it sexy. Ask Nyomi Bridget the Gap. This is where we talk about love, sex, relationships, cultural differences, and so much more.